Sydney Sweeney, the talented and resilient actress known for her captivating performances in shows like Euphoria and films such as Anyone But You, has recently opened up about a deeply personal and painful chapter of her life: the divorce of her parents and the profound sense of guilt she carried for years. At just 28 years old, Sweeney has already navigated the treacherous waters of Hollywood, rising from humble beginnings in a small Washington town to becoming one of the most sought-after stars in the industry. But behind the glamour and the red carpet smiles lies a story of sacrifice, financial hardship, and emotional turmoil that shaped her early years in ways she never anticipated. In a candid conversation on the latest episode of THR's Awards Chatter podcast, Sweeney delved into the motivations that propelled her family across the country and the unintended consequences that followed. She recounted how, as a young aspiring actress, she convinced her parents, Lisa and Stephen Sweeney, to uproot their lives from the quiet, affordable confines of Spokane, Washington, to the bustling, exorbitantly expensive landscape of Los Angeles. This move wasn't just a leap of faith, it was a calculated risk born out of her unyielding determination to break into the entertainment world. "I was just doing anything that I could to have a resume built, gain connections, and make sure that my parents didn't give up on me," she shared, her voice tinged with the weight of those memories. From her debut in 2009, appearing in episodes of popular series like Heroes and Criminal Minds, Sweeney was hustling relentlessly, taking on every opportunity, no matter how small, to prove her worth and justify the monumental changes her family had made for her dream. Life in Los Angeles, however, quickly revealed its harsh underbelly. Sweeney described the stark contrast between her idyllic small-town upbringing and the cutthroat reality of Tinseltown. "I was enjoying being a kid, but there was a lot going on in my life at that time too," she reflected. Growing up in a small town, when you come to Los Angeles, like most of you probably know, prices in Los Angeles are crazy. Not anything like where I came from. The cost of living in LA is notorious. A one-bedroom apartment can easily eclipse $2,000 a month, and that's before factoring in transportation, auditions, and the endless networking events that aspiring actors must attend. For a family accustomed to the modest expenses of rural Washington, where homes and daily necessities come at a fraction of the price, the adjustment was nothing short of seismic. Utilities, groceries, and even basic schooling costs ballooned overnight, turning what was meant to be a gateway to opportunity into a relentless financial strain. The pressures mounted inexorably. Sweeney's father, Stephen, a steadfast provider back home, found himself adrift in a city that prized glamour over grit. "My dad lost his job," she revealed, the words hanging heavy in the air. Job hunting in LA is a beast of its own. Competition is fierce, and industries like construction or manufacturing, which might have sustained him in Washington, are overshadowed by entertainment and tech sectors that demand specialized skills and connections. Stephen's unemployment wasn't just a personal blow, it rippled through the family unit, eroding stability and amplifying anxieties. Bills piled up, savings dwindled, and the dream that had once united them began to fracture under the weight of reality. By the time Sweeney was 16, the situation had deteriorated to a crisis point. Her family filed for bankruptcy. This legal declaration marked the end of their financial security, a humiliating and stressful process that involves liquidating assets, facing creditors, and rebuilding from rock bottom. For a teenager already grappling with the uncertainties of adolescence and an acting career, witnessing her parents' world crumble was devastating. Compounding this hardship was the eventual dissolution of her parents' marriage. The divorce, which came amid the chaos of relocation and economic downfall, left Sweeney reeling. "They filed for divorce and I felt like a lot of it was my fault because I had brought them to the city, and uplifted their entire lives, and I blamed myself for a long time," she admitted, her vulnerability laid bare. This self-blame wasn't fleeting, it festered, becoming a shadow that colored her early career triumphs. As the catalyst for the move, the child whose passion for performing had uprooted her family, Sweeney internalized the fallout as her personal failing. She questioned every decision. Had she been too insistent? Too naive about the sacrifices involved? The guilt was a constant companion, whispering doubts during late-night rehearsals or triumphant callbacks. It manifested in her drive too, a fierce work ethic that bordered on self-punishment, as if success could retroactively mend what had been broken. Psychologists often note that children of divorce, especially those who perceive themselves as contributors to the split, carry a disproportionate emotional load. In Sweeney's case, the intersection of familial upheaval and professional ambition created a perfect storm. She was not just losing her parents' partnership, she was confronting the fragility of the support system she relied on. Friends and family rallied, but the core unit, mom, dad, and daughter, had splintered. Sweeney channeled this pain into her craft, drawing on raw authenticity that has endeared her to audiences. Roles in The White Lotus and Euphoria showcase her ability to portray complex, flawed characters, perhaps mirroring the introspection she underwent during those formative years.